Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praises to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the Earthly Mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Hawashai. I pray the Most High blesses this lesson this evening, gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand events that are currently happening on the earth, so we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Brethren, as the Gentiles try to apply pressure, to conform to the ways and the things of their society, we have to understand that the Most High is going to apply pressure to them. As you saw at the 4th of July, Biden expressing the fact that the plague was done. The plague was over with. They made their declaration that they've defeated the plague and everything is going great. And as soon as they did that, the Most High applied that pressure. Same thing is happening now. They're trying to apply pressure to conform. Every time they do that, the Most High checkmates them. And that's exactly what's about to happen right now. We're going to be making some connections and showing you how the Most High says, do not be deceived by the things that are going on in the world. The vast majority of the people here in the world think that everything is, black and white, right and wrong. There's only one group of people giving out truth, and then anyone else that's not in agreement with them are bringing out lies. We're going to read a little bit from the Lost Scriptures book, and it's the Apocalypse of Peter. Going to be making some connections today between the Apocalypse of Peter, the medieval empire of the Israelites, and the Book of Mormon, Jacob, the Book of Jacob and the Book of Mormon. To show you how many of these things that are happening right now were talked about in many different writings, okay? So we're going to take a look here. First part of the Apocalypse of Peter. It says, verse 1 here. The second coming of Christ and resurrection of the dead, which Christ revealed through Peter to those who died for their sins, because they did not keep the commandments of God, their Creator. And he, Peter, pondered thereon, that he might perceive the mystery of the Son of God, the merciful and lover of mercy. And when the Lord was seated upon the Mount of Olives, his disciples came to him, and we besought and entreated him severally, and implored him, saying to him, declare to us, what are the signs of your coming and of the end of the world, that we may perceive and mark the time of your coming, and instruct those who come after us, to whom we preach, the word of your gospel, and whom we install in your church, that they, when they are hear it, may take heed to themselves and mark the time of your coming. So this was for a future generation, okay? And the Lord answered us, saying, take heed that no one deceive you, and that you be not doubters, and serve other gods. Many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Christ. Believe them not, neither draw near to them. For the coming of the Son of God shall not be plain. See, that's the thing. The coming of the Son of the Most High will not be plain. But see, according to the Gentiles, they make it sound like it's really easy to know. Got the tribulation period, or you got 3.5 years. You got the Antichrist coming. He's going to set up the third temple, and and they say and they never deviate. They make it seem as if everything is easy and plain. But here it said, that the coming of the Son of the Most High shall not be plain. You know why? Because you got two alternate realities going on. You got the reality of the churches, the reality of the Gentiles that have totally ignored the Most High's people. So therefore, they've made up a total different reality that does not go with the scriptures. Because the scriptures are talking about what happens to the Most High's people. How prophecy is revolved around the Most High's people. That's what the Bible is talking about. That's what these our other writings are talking about. They always revolve around our people. That's what the Book of Mormon is talking about. That's what these pseudepigraphal books are talking about. That's what these lost scriptures are talking about. They're talking about the Most High's chosen people. In a little bit, I'm going to show you an example of how they make up all of these other events and try to fit them into the Bible. And they've been doing this for a very long time. So let me continue here for a minute. So, for the coming of the Son of the Most High shall not be plain, but as the lightning that shines from the east to the west, so will I come upon the clouds of heaven with a great host, on my majesty. With my cross going before my face, will I come in my majesty, shining 7 times brighter than the sun. Will I come to my majesty, come in my majesty, with all my saints, my angels. And my Father shall set a crown upon my head, that I may judge the quick and the dead, and recompense everyone according to his works. Chapter 2. And you learn a parable from the fig tree. As soon as its shoots have come forth, and the twigs grown, the end of the world shall come. Now we know this is talking about us getting the first and second stick. We know that was the bringing together of the northern and southern kingdoms' records. That's what this is referring to. And once that happened, that was the end for the time of the Gentiles. So let's read that again. Reading the first part of chapter 2. And you learn a parable from the fig tree. As soon as its shoots have come forth, and the twigs grown, the end of the world shall come. And then, we got our information back, we got our books back, the records back, put back together, and then the plague was going to overtake the land. And I, Peter, answered and said to him, interpret the fig tree to me. How can we understand it? For throughout all its days, the fig tree sends forth shoots, and every year it brings forth its fruit for its master. What then does the parable of the fig tree mean? We do not know. And the master answered and said to me, do you not understand that the fig tree is the house of Israel? It is like a man who planted a fig tree in his garden, and it brought forth no fruit. So as we didn't have the 2 sticks and they were separated, we weren't bringing forth that fruit. Once we got the 2 sticks, we brought it back together and we got the fullness of the gospel. That's when we were able to start to produce good fruit once again. Okay, so let's continue. And he sought the fruit many years. And when he did not find it, he said to the keeper of his garden, uproot this fig tree so that it does not make our ground unfruitful. And the gardener said to the master, let us rid it of the weeds and dig the ground round about it and water it. If then it does not bear fruit, we will straightway uproot it from the garden and plant another in place of it. So see, that's Most High is going to be doing that separation. And see, ever since, after 2019, the Most High has been working to separate us from the other nations. And see, they're working so hard to bring us back together, which is going against what the Most High, has ordained. So as they keep on pushing us coming back together and going back to their normal, they're opening themselves up for a huge fall, for a huge move by our Father, and a huge sweeping of these people off the land. Okay? So let's continue. Have you not understood that the fig tree is the house of Israel? Verily I say to you, when its twigs have sprouted forth in the last days. See, we're going to get this information back in the last days. So before, we were not producing that fruit because we did not have the first and second stick. They did not come together yet. That was a last days prophecy. So the other nations have been able to set up their own prophecies for all this time. But now that we have our information back, now we understand that it's the last days, it's the end, and it's the end of the times of the Gentiles. This is a last days prophecy. See, they made it seem as if the whole fig tree was Ish and them actually going back into the land, after World War II. You see, that's a whole alternate reality. Did Ish bring back the first and second stick? Did Ish bring back the fullness of the gospel? Did they have they been teaching the truth to the world? I'm sure we all know the answer to that. Okay? So again, when its twigs have sprouted forth in the last days, then shall false Christ come and awake expectation. Okay? Saying, I am the Christ. Right? Okay? Who has now come into the world, and when they perceive the wickedness of their deeds, they shall turn away and deny him. Okay? Whom our fathers praise. Our fathers used to praise white Jesus, Caesarea Borgia. But like I said, as you see now, that's not working for our people anymore. Our people aren't checking for them like that anymore. We're not going after the Gentiles and trying to get their approval anymore. That's all part of the two sticks coming together. Our twigs sprouting and shooting forth once again. That's all part of this. Okay? So we're talking about, do not be deceived. Now remember, now the Gentiles were able to deceive us for a very long time. They've been manipulating events to make it seem as if they've been fulfilling prophecy. So what we're going to do is take a real quick and get another example of this right here. From the medieval empire of the Israelites. I'm going to read a little bit about how, there's prophecy, and then how the Gentiles have gone out of their way to try to make it seem as if they've been fulfilling these prophecies. They've, manipulated the timelines, added years here, added events that they, try to mirror with the scriptures to make it seem as if they've been fulfilling prophecy. Okay? So you got the imaginary Middle Ages at the top there. And supposedly, 663 AD, the well-known pillage of Rome by Emperor Constantine II is described. Constantine saw the roofs shining with the gild of the bronze and sacrilegiously issued a command to dismantle these roofs and to load the valuable shards onto boats. Constance was in Rome for 12 days. Okay? This time was enough for a most complete plunder of the city of all its ancient bronze valuables. Now let's continue with the Bible here. The well-known biblical Babylonian captivity, which decisively concluded the history of the Judaic kingdom. The exile of Jerusalem came after the war with Nebuchadnezzar. Imaginary Middle Ages, right here. The well-known Avignon captivity, which was called a Babylonian exile in the Middle Ages, it decisively concludes the history of the Roman Empire of the 10th through 13th centuries AD. So you can see they're trying to make a parallel between the end of the Judaic period and the end of the Roman Empire. Now take a look at the Bible. The exile of the God-fearing people lasted 70 years, according to the Bible. 2 Chronicles 36, 20 through 21. This event is unique in biblical history. The Avignon exile lasts exactly, what do you think? 70 years. This event is unique in the Western European chronicles and in the history of the papacy. In the New Testament, as is known, there is little historical information, and therefore we will not find in it evident parallels with the events of the situation of the Middle Ages. It is all the more curious to compare the text of a testament and the writings which accompany it with the works of those authors who lived a millennium after Jesus Christ, who died on the cross supposedly in the first century of the new era. What did the Babylonian princess and writer Anna Komnena, who described the life of her father Alexius Comnenus in composition, Alexius know about him, for example? The Christian Anna Komnena did not know anything about Jesus in any case. She does not once mention him. I just shared a little bit of that just to show you how they make parallels with their history, or if it's true or not, with the Bible to try to make it seem as if they are the people of the book, that the Bible is revolving around them, that they have authority to take our scriptures and our books and hide them. Like these kinds of things, they've tried their best to write themselves into our scriptures, but it's just not working out anymore. Now we're in the last days. We know that us getting our knowledge back, our Northern and Southern Kingdom records back, was the key and was a sign of the end. And at the same time that was going to happen, there was going to be a plague that's going to be released by the Most High that's going to sweep the land. And that's exactly what you've been seeing. But they're not comparing what's happening to them right now with anything as far as the Bible is concerned. So this is why it says, do not let yourselves be deceived. Because that's exactly what they're doing. They're deceiving everyone because they're not using the scriptures to explain what's going on right now. Not at all. Okay? So now we're going to connect this with Jacob 5. I'm going to have Isaiah read here, starting at verse 62.
Wherefore, let us go to and labor with our might this last time. For behold, the end draweth nigh, and this is for the last time that I shall prune my vineyard.
Stop right there, please. Thank you. Okay. This is showing you that this is a final days, last days prophecy. You see it say right there, wherefore let us go to and labor with our might this last time. He's coming with the pain. He's coming with the power this last time. That's why whatever it is that they try to do, it doesn't work. They're making huge moves to try to, open up their society, and it's not working out. It's not working out. And what did it say here? For the last time. Again, wherefore let us go to and labor with our might this last time. For behold, the end draweth nigh. And this is for the last time that I shall prune my vineyard. The Most High is going to be kicking these people off the lands. He's going to be pruning the vineyard, and he's going to be getting rid of the weeds for the last time. Final days. The key to make sure we know it's the final days, the Most High's people have their records, have their understanding, are not subject to have to go to the Gentiles to get approval. That's how we know this is a last days, final days prophecy. And if the Most High is going to this time, he's coming, and he's going to be doing it with his might. Going to continue with 63.
Grafting the branches, begun at the last, that they may be first. and that the first may be last. And dig about the trees, both old and young, the first and the last and the first, that all may be nourished once again for the last time.
Thank you. You're going to be nourished for the last time. You're going to get that nourishment. You're going to get that spiritual nourishment for the last time. This is all about those last days. See, according to the Gentiles, they don't think this is the last days for them. They think they're going to continue forever in this position. And we all understand that that's not possible. That's not going to happen. These are the final days. And that's something you don't hear them talking about hardly at all. They think, of course, about the rapture, things like that. But see, the key to the last days and understanding is knowing who the people are and seeing how the Most High is working with them. Seeing how the Most High is giving them their knowledge and understanding back, giving them their independence from the Gentiles, giving them their independence from having to go to them for their understanding. The Most High is going to be taking, giving them their independence spiritually and physically. The physical separation has already begun. It started in 2020. And this is a big divergence right here. They think we're coming back together. I know the Most High is going to keep us separated, even more so. So let's go to 64.
Wherefore dig about them and prune them, and dung them once more, for the last time, for the end draweth nigh. And if it be so that these last grafts shall grow and bring forth the natural fruit, then shall ye prepare the way for them that they may grow.
There we go. Most High is going to prepare the way. Remember, I keep saying last days, final days. We understand that the last days, the key are the two sticks. The Bible, Book of Mormon, our records, all that information come back together. That is the key. So once we got that information, this is key. So when you listen to these, you're reading and you're listening to these, and you're pondering what's going on, you understand that this is the time. So again, wherefore, dig about them and prune them and dung them once more, for the last time, for the end draweth nigh. It's the last time. The end is here. And if it be so that these last grafts shall grow and bring forth the natural fruit, then shall ye prepare the way for them, that they may grow. You have to prepare the way by getting rid of the ones who produce bad fruits, producing evil fruits. And you can see the battle lines being drawn by the Most High right now. You see that happening right now. 365.
And as they begin to grow, ye shall clear away the branches which bring forth bitter fruit, according to the strength of the good and the size thereof. And ye shall not clear away the bad thereof all at once, lest the roots thereof should be too strong for the graft, and the graft therefore thereof shall perish, and I lose the trees of my vineyard.
Beautiful, thank you. Now, that's what's been going on since 2020. The Most High has been separating. But now we're in 2021. Most High has given us more knowledge and understanding. He's brought back the times that we need to be praying together, giving us information about that understanding as far as the 8,000, right? Square root of 1% of the population. We get that understanding. And now the other nations are moving, and so is the Most High. So as you can see, these different books all bringing this information together, bringing that understanding together, awakening the spirits of the ones the Most High has chosen. All praises to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.